Welcome to the Likely Not Dead podcast, the podcast where we talk about the spooky, paranormal, and the creepiness of the world. I'm your host, Quasi, with my two rats, Toby.
What's up?
And Lenny.
Hello.
And before we begin with today's show, remember to follow us on our website, likelynotdeadpodcast.com, where all of our socials are linked. Don't ask me no more where we at. You already know by now, okay? In today's topic, we'll be talking about what I say is the scariest thing in the world.
Is it children?
Of course.
That is pretty scary.
They're small and you're responsible for them.
Trust no ghost child.
There's no such thing. So, my question to my two ratitas. What do you think about ghost children?
I think they ain't children. I think they're demons disguising themselves as children to let your guard down. That's what I think.
Okay.
I've never encountered any chicks. That's it.
Just like lean into it. That's how, in case you're not in here.
Sorry, Tommy. It was just too funny. I had to. I have never really encountered ghost children, I believe, but that would be fucking scary.
I have. Oh, yeah. So, okay. So, the topic of today is the San Antonio ghost children, the ones on the trail tracks.
Fake.
Anybody, how dare you? Don't ruin don't spoil, no spoilers. Before anyone, like, everyone who lives in Texas knows about this. All right. And the story is all the same. So, in the south of San Antonio, Texas, is the site of Texas' most famous ghost story. Allegedly, right? I gotta say that. Allegedly. Because this is how the story goes. So, everyone and their mothers says somewhere around the 1930s or the 1940s, there was a school bus accident on the trail tracks just by the San Juan Mission is an intersection of the roadway that is crossed by a railroad, allegedly. So the story goes that it was a rainy night and this bus was crossing the trail tracks. I know. You already have a question. What do you want? What do you want? Say it now before I go into it.
Why were they at night?
No, like I just said it was a rainy. Oh, I did say night.
Yeah, you said night. Why were the children out in the night, especially
you're
on
right.
a bus?
This goes back to the 1940s?
Allegedly. So that's the thing, right? That's why I was triggered.
Those school buses back then?
Yeah, dude. That's why I was like,
So what, 70 years ago?
Yes. Okay, my bad. Not at night. It was just rainy, I guess. It was very dark. The school bus had only 10 children. So, well, it was a full school bus. And they were driving, I guess, to cross that intersection. But the little, the flags that come down for the church tracks, they didn't come down on time. And the bus was trying to stop, try to brake before. But the road was too slippery. And the brakes didn't work. And it stopped in the middle of the train tracks. And then he tried getting the start. Yeah, right. Like, this is why it gets weird. And they were trying to get out, but they hear the choo-choo, and boom, they got hit with it.
Okay, the buses have an exit on both windows and the back door. So how did they get hit? Like, how did they not think about getting out through the back door?
These are elementary school children.
Yeah, but you have one adult bus driver that knows all these rules.
If it's elementary, there's usually 2 adults on a bus.
Well, I don't think in the 1930s there was another adult in the school bus. Or the 1940s. That's probably right now. They probably did that because of what happened. Because the bus driver was panicking trying to get off the trail tracks. But then he heard the choo-choo and he died as well.
So was it just like the front of the school bus?
It was the middle. So only 10 children died, if that makes sense. It died and then it rolled, obviously. And only 10 children died out of all the kids that were
How many were in there, though?
So it doesn't say, that's why I was getting triggered, because I'm like, how many kids are in a school bus?
If it's elementary, and this is what, 1940s?
Yes. Yeah, because he said 10 children are reportedly lost their lives.
I'm assuming it's anywhere between 20 to 30 kids. If it was like anything like going on the bus in our day.
Well, our day, right? But like, what about there's not enough kids that go to school? Because, like,
Baby boomers were back then, so I'm pretty sure there was more enough kids.
1930s, 1940s.
How'd you go? Yeah.
Little boomers.
Yes.
Oh yeah, they are.
Did you
Well,
know that I believe it was Gen Z? Is that the one after ours generation?
That's what I am, sadly. Yes.
Nah, bitch,
Yeah.
you're a millennial.
That's what I've been saying, but
You're a
allegedly
baby millennial now.
They said they changed it.
Well, too bad. So, did you hear back when they started calling the COVID the boomer remover?
They gotta get rid of that disease.
Because they didn't believe in it, but they believe in everything else.
Even though they went through the whole flu thing. So it's like...
The Great Depression, they're still here. Okay. Anyway, so that's the story. The story is, don't give me technicalities, because no one has it. I don't know how many damn kids were on the bus.
It's not about that.
We don't know nothing.
The Great Depression happened before World War II.
Where were they?
World War II.
They went to war, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what got us out of the Great Depression because war makes money.
Oh, that's true. Well, they lived through everything. They still out here.
And boomers were born after World War II.
Oh, they're the fuck babies. The breeder babies.
That's why they're called the baby boomers.
The breedables. They're like, yeah. Because when they came back, they're like, yo, I'm fucking zoinks, bro.
I mean, I feel like that's what we're going through right now, too. It's like, bro.
Who wants to boom right now? We're in
Everybody
we're
younger
in
than us.
We're in national debt. There's no money.
Everybody-
Your income tax refunds are not coming. They're gonna last like 6 months before they actually enter your bank account because we ain't got no money to be giving out.
We haven't had any money for fucking decades.
Exactly, but this time we finally hit it. We were trying to bail out this whole time, but now finally we are at the last cent. If they don't fix it by the end of January, say goodbye to your taxes. I mean, say goodbye to your refund. You still gotta pay the taxes, but you ain't getting anything back.
So much for a free country, right?
Correct. You pay for what you want. Right. So anyway, so because of that, everyone knows that like the ghost story goes that because of that, those 10 kids haunt that certain intersection. And if you park your car like on top of the trail tracks and you put like baby powder in the back of your car will be moved and there will be like handprints, right? And that's the...
Didn't this turn out to be a hoax?
Yeah, I was going to say that somebody...
Yeah, someone said it was a hoax. Correct. This is why I got triggered because it was on the list. So I already did it. I was like, God damn it. But yes, so it's figured out to be a hoax. Said something about the altitude and then like how your car is set, like a whole thing. But they weren't able to explain the handprints. They think maybe like the people who did that thing, they had like kids in the back of the car. Like, but like who be putting kids, like they put their kids' hands on it and then they record.
You'd be surprised.
Oh, you're right. People will be wilding for the views.
I mean, there's one way we can check if it's real or not. None of us have kids.
I know we could go.
Exactly.
We were gonna go.
You guys forget who has the smaller hands here.
You?
That's why you're holding the camera.
What are you acting? Yeah, so basically that's the thing, right? And then the accident, the bus, there's nothing documented in like Texas history in San Antonio that anyone ever died at that intersection. That's why they say it's a hoax, right? Because no one, if it wasn't reported, died. But then I was thinking, what if someone did die but they didn't care because they weren't white?
Cover up?
No, because they're racist. Because
that's why they cover it up.
Yeah, they covered it up, and that's why you can't tell. It was probably a school bus of colored kids, and they're like, oh.
So there's no record of that accident happening.
Exactly.
So how do we know about it?
Exactly. It was something that was said, like a legend. It's a myth that every generation talked about this accident, even though it was never documented.
Where did it originally come from?
Bitch, why didn't you hear the south of Texas, San Antonio? That's what they say. It's a myth that came down from south of San Antonio.
That's such a random...
No, what I think is crazy is that they made this really drastic story for some ghost children, you know? Like, what was that? There's no message in that ghost story. Like, you know how, like, there's messages in most scary stories? Like, La Llorona is, like, that one. La Mano Peludo is about, like, stop being handsy, bitch. Like, everything has a meaning, but this the reason that I got intrigued with this one is because there's no meaning. There's no meaning for it.
There's no life lesson in this.
There's no life lesson. There's no like lesson to be learned here. Because what would it be? Fix your like, don't be driving fast
Don't go
on
on the
rainy
bus?
road. Or yeah, like don't go on the bus. Like so, like what is it? Like because the bus driver allegedly just lost control of the brakes gave out. I would get it. Maybe it's like a calling, like fix your brakes. Now it's not the same as the one here in Alton, the Mission one, the bus accident. That's a whole different story.
So okay, so
that one's
buses
not
are
Alton.
required to stop before the railroad track.
Yeah, but this is
So-
now. What about back then?
I mean, I'm pretty sure it goes as far as back then too,
I don't think so.
because we had way more railroad tracks active than we do now.
We're all looking into. Well,
We ain't
No
got no
one-
fucking Wi-Fi here. We ain't got no signal.
they didn't have. I bet during that time they didn't even have the little sign that like covers the trail tracks at that point.
I'm pretty sure they did.
They probably did.
They had to,
I doubt.
or at least the bell ringer.
I doubt. I bet there was no. So what I think is this is a big conspiracy, where basically I feel like it did happen, because the thing is they made it too specific, right? They made too many details specific. They said how many kids were dead. They said how más o menos. They said what train hit it. Like all that, it sums up too much. Man.
Okay, so
The only one who has internet.
according to WDBO.com, a single bus crash 83 years ago was the inspiration for a law in all 50 states that require bus drivers to not only come to a full stop at all railroad crossings, but they're required to open their front door and driver's side window to listen, in addition to look for oncoming trains. 83 years ago kind of matches the timeline. It was over 80 years ago.
I don't know how to do math. I gotta count.
1940s. From that to 2000 is 60 years, plus another 22 for our current year.
Now Quasi using the calculator.
2020. That ain't it.
This came out in August 18th, 2021.
So then, but what crash was that? What accident was that?
Name the time and place, boy.
This was in Florida.
Nah,
Okay,
fucking
so it has
Florida.
nothing to do with Texas.
No, but they're saying that they probably.
Well, we could always test this conspiracy theory.
Yes, and then ya saben. Yeah, so I got into the technicality. So they say it's a hoax, and then some people say no, it's real. But I'll be frank. Sometimes people have ghosts clinging onto them, so I wouldn't be shocked if it might be not a ghost that's haunting that certain spot. It's probably a ghost that was just chilling. They saw a bitch and like the fuck and pushed her ass out. So that's the whole point of view of the San Antonio kids, because the ones that did have an accident, like here in Alton, they do not have, there is no paranormal activity that has been recorded here in Alton when they fell from the Dr. Pepper incident into the river. And that one took many lives. And that one was like nationwide.
Wasn't there like a movie about that? I'm not sure about that specific incident, but I remember like I had like little flashbacks of watching a movie about kids that fell into like.
I mean, I think every
I'm not sure what movie
accident,
that is.
I think every accident like has a movie that like got something. Like Jeepers Creepers was like pedophile, that haunted kids.
Actually, I used to love that movie just because, you know, it was one of the first few scary movies that I watched. No, but it was inspired by a real event.
Yeah, it's
Oh my God, Quasi!
that's how it is. You haven't seen the movie? He's like smelling and he goes like he's like choosing, like motherfucker chooses. He's like on the that's the one
second
time,
one, right?
Yeah, the one I don't care about because it's on the bus, and then he's just there.
He's on Tinder. Swipe left, swipe right.
Yeah,
Swipe
and,
left.
and everyone gets in line and they're like looking at him. He goes like he does that shit, and they move. They're like, okay, he doesn't want me. Okay, he doesn't want me. He doesn't want me. And then there's this guy, and he goes like like he had like an orgasm. Like that's the bitch I want to take. That so we solely try. It's not sidetracked because it's still considered a school bus. That's also scary, right? And then like he goes, like he smells it, and then at one point, with one of the kids, he goes, like he licks the fucking wall, like he's like, yeah, like he's gonna bore on
He
it.
just fucking set the whole movie right there.
And then he ate him and took his head. You already know. Remember? He's like, he said it was all fucked up. Woo!
The bus, that's why.
You don't understand. Obviously,
I do. I love those movies.
You don't understand. But But yeah, so it's kind of sus. Everyone's saying it's the altitude, but I do have someone that we know that actually went to the San Antonio trail tracks, and they did have an experience. Insert name nowhere because you can't tell, but it starts with a K. We all know her. Yes. You're so dumb, bitch. Like, use your mind.
No, I know, but like, I gotta say it. I'm pretty sure everybody knows.
It's because you took a second. You're like,
Like, I don't even know why you even said the first letter.
so you.
We all know.
Yeah, well, I think they told us, all of us, that they went to San Antonio and they saw the trail tracks, and they went with, like, it was her brother, I think one of her cousins or some shit. I don't know what it was. But basically, they went to see if it was real.
Well, if you guys want to donate to our PayPal so we could buy our ghost hunting equipment, that'd be very appreciated.
Watch us not even buy it. That's the true facts, because that requires effort.
We're gonna buy it.
Okay. And then you're gonna know how to use it. And that's what.
Yeah, that we wonder how to use it.
Yeah, guys, donate so we can all become demonologists.
Oh my god.
Yep.
So you know, here we just passed the fucking answers, bro. So we can all get the same degree.
I mean, we all gotta protect ourselves too, so
The umble obrigado.
Toby's gonna be in charge of doing brujeria on us, the good kind.
No, but you're gonna be the one who has all the brujeria on her. Like, we're gonna have to bait.
You ain't wrong.
You ain't wrong. I'm like, open those ass cheeks at this point. It's in there.
Shut the fuck. You know, speaking about ass cheeks, bro, I just realized that I do have a butt.
No, we've been saying this. I don't know why you
Like-
act brand new that you have
Like,
an ass. Like, bitch,
you know-
you sit down, that shit is
Fuck
lifting
you.
and like
No.
cushion you the whole time. And when you
So,
say
like-
my ass hurt,
Oh
from
my-
what, bitch? Holding your weight. That's it. Like, that's it.
Anyways,
Thick ass.
so I fuck off. The
Valley's ass.
Shut the No, because I had to wear business casual, so I had to like tuck in my shirt and like wear a belt and
Your
everything.
ass.
Then I saw my ass and I was like, oh, okay.
Now you know why everyone be looking. The fun
Fuck up.
they did their own. Oh, Jeepers Creepers. And they saw you walking. She's like, walk away from me. I missed. Walk away from me. Like,
Shut the fuck up. Continue with your.
that's the thing, right? So, back to it. So she did it because she didn't believe in it. They stopped at the train tracks. It was like 2 a.m. And they were like talking. They're like, I don't think it's gonna work. And then they felt like the car moved back and forth. So it didn't like go forward all the way. It just moved a little bit. And then they're like, oh my God, what is it? But here's a twister. Like, they saw like someone pushing the car from the backseat. Like, they turned, but it was not no damn kid. It was like a lady. And they were scared for a second. Like, is there a crazy lady? Like, behind. And they're like, oh my God, there's someone behind us. And the driver, whoever was driving, turned. It's like, what are you talking about? There's no one back there. And then they just felt the car like slowly move, and it went down like the little slope. It's not even that deep. It's like doop. And they turned around because they did the baby powder, some grown ass. And they looked around because there's nothing there. There's no one, and they got scared. So they thought it was actually the La Llorona that came to push them. I was like, bitch, how's the Llorona be like, butch? Like, she would have left your ass there to see if the train came fuck you up. But yeah, that's one of the stories. I've dealt with ghost children, but not on trail track. The one in Alton, I've seen them ghost kids. But I always thought I didn't actually, when I went to the Alton like park, because that park is wild because you have to go down. And I went there one day for Easter. I did the whole like, I'm like 11. And there was like an event, and there was fucking eggs with money in it. So you know my ass would like running. I was running around like jackhammer. And I remember I accidentally saw a kid like near the water, and they were like a little youngish. They're like maybe my age. And I was like, oh, hey, you should be careful. And he turned. He's like, why? And I'm like, you could fall in the water, right? Because I can't swim, as everyone knows. I can't swim for shit. I can't float either. I'll float when I die. So I was like, you should be careful. Like, I'm like, because he was like leaning over. But why would he lean over the water? Like, there's nothing there, right? There's no huevos. And he's like, no one's gonna save. And I'm like, I'll scream for help, you know? Like, there was like a lot of families here. And I turned around because I heard my sister call for me. And when I looked back, the kid was in the water. And I got scared, right? And I started to tell my dad, the kid fell in the water. And then, like, me screaming that, everyone went rushing to the water. And I saw, and he was just in the water, like, floating. And I was scared for my life. Everyone went there. There was no kid in the water. There was no one in the water. And I got really scared. And we went home. And I told my dad, like, I swear to you, because he got mad at me that I was lying. And I'm like, I told you, like, there was a kid in the water. And then my older sister told, she's like, you don't know the story of what happened where we were at? My dad even tells me, like, you know what? Let me show you. And, like, he turned and there's, like, crosses. And he was like, you see why there's crosses? I was like, no. He's like, kids actually died here. I was like, and he's like, they're around your age. I was like, okay. and then my dad's like, he's like, you probably saw one of them, but like, yeah. And I'm like, why would you bring me here for Easter? You know? And he's like,
the same reason people go to Easter at the Lomita, bro.
I don't fuck with that. I don't fuck with no
We got our medium over here.
I know that. And then I was just like, I'm scared. I don't want to talk to them ghosts no more. And after that, I never wanted to go there. And that was the last time I ever went down there. And I saw that kid floating. And it's kind of scary because it looks like how you see it in the movies where like the body and you see the water whirling. I'm just like, bruh. And I don't know who it is. I don't know who it was. I haven't even seen the video. Like, I see their name, but I told my mom I don't want to look at the photos. I don't want to look at the photos. If I find out one of them's in there, I'm like, yeah, no. But yeah, so allegedly they say it's a hoax. But for other people who have experienced the San Antonio trail tracks, they say it isn't. Some people do it by themselves. Like, they record themselves alone in the car, and then they record themselves like outside the car to show you like, hey, there's no one here. But what I said to make it more credible is that you live stream it, because you can't edit a live stream. So I'm like, live stream it, record like the whole 9 yards, get in your car, and let's see what happens. But they came out with like the tilt, like your car eventually is gonna lean forward and fall due to gravity, the little slope that there is. So I'm just like, so what if you're not that heavy? Because your car doesn't really lean that much unless you're like almost, and also the slope is not that big. So I don't
So tell me, we'd have to be outside the car. We can't be inside the car.
Damn.
We'll be recording the live stream from outside.
It just I want to say it because
From two different angles.
She's already tired of hearing it. I'm not gonna say it. I'll say it. But yes,
Just say it.
you're gonna hear Lenny's recording just her breathing.
I swear, the day that I stop breathing, you'll be worried, bitch.
I know. Don't you know that I don't sleep when you sleep over? Because I'm like hyper aware. If she stops breathing for a second, I wake up. My body's like, wake up. And I'm like, I don't hear anything. And I hit her in the chi-chi or something. And she goes, and I was like, okay. She's fine. I'm like, she's alive.
Damn, why you gotta put my business out there like that?
When you have breathing problems, you snore. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. It adds up.
You snore too.
I do, because I got problems. I snore too when I'm fucking tired.
Nah, man, she almost killed me last time. For real. She has like this little small weighted blanket. Pink little shit, bro. That bitch threw that shit on top of me and I almost died. Like, I was like, oh, am I getting fucking sleep paralysis or some shit? I can't move. Like, what the fuck?
It's because I told her. Because she's like, I never, like, get comfortable. I can never sleep, like, fast. And then I was like, bitch, you always sleep fast. I don't know, you acting. So I'm like, look, when you get this weighted blanket that I have in my room, you're going to knock out. And she's like, nah. We're watching Nuke's Top 5. I'm in the chair that I have there. And she's on the bed. And she has the blanket. I put the blanket over her. And we're, like, I think we're eating burritos. I don't fucking remember. We're eating burritos with a cup of cheese.
Yeah, I got her.
My addiction. She's giving me new addictions. Afterwards, we did that and I put it on her. Not even 5 minutes into Nuke's Top 5. And I just turned. I'm just like, wake up. And she's like, I'm like, yay, wake up. Bitch, you just came. And I take off and I finally shake her and she goes, what? What the hell? I fell asleep. Like, get that fucking blue blanket off of you, bitch. You're like, but I'm so warm.
And I was sitting up. I wasn't even like laying down, dude. I was literally just sitting up there. Like,
we're not surprised you always sleep sitting down.
that's why a lot of people say I'm like my mother. That's how she would fall asleep, sitting up.
And then your little hands come here and like,
Stop! I know, it's such a bad habit. I hate
it's
it.
just like,
I'm like a fucking what are they called? Those Fuck up. No, like
They're like on your titty. You're
no,
like,
those praying monks, or what are they called, the fat ones, the chubby ones,
the sumo
The Buddhist
wrestlers?
monk?
the Buddhist monks. Yeah, I'm like
sumo
those.
wrestlers.
This bitch tampoco no te puede verga.
Woo! Got me all fucked up.
You're gonna be my 13th reason.
I have like 17, 13 reasons.
This bitch.
I'm waiting for one to fall to see which one hits first. I'll be there like, it finally fell through. You won't see me. I'll play them. Oh, I'm almost crying because you made me laugh so much. But yeah, weighted blankets on this bitch. Don't do it. I don't know what you say like, I actually fell asleep sitting. Bitch, we all know. Like, we all know you fall asleep sitting down. Shit, you could be eating and you still fall asleep.
Está bueno, güey. Síguele con tu pinche historia.
No, that's
Stop
it.
talking about me.
Ay, famosa. Anyway, so that's basically it. We don't know if it's real, but we don't also know if it's fake. Because everyone who be saying they're like experts that go there, they say like it's real, and then someone else goes like it's gravity. It's like flat earthers and round, like the earth is round.
So if you truly want to know,
You need to go figure it out. You need to go yourself. Go experience it. If you don't experience anything, it was fake.
Okay, well, also you can also keep up with us, and you might see a video
Watch
in
our
the future.
TikTok sometimes. We do stuff. I'm in charge of the TikTok. That's why the reason it
The
hasn't been
little
uploaded.
lackey, yeah.
Because I actually have to do everything. Okay. And sometimes I don't want to be the only one on it, so I need to record like little snippets of my rats. But now I'm gonna put bloopers because I got this shit on my fucking phone. It's just gonna be.
Damn,
It's
y
gonna
todavía
be-
sigues, perra.
Put
No,
that
no.
Jeepers Creepers orgasm face on there.
The Jeepers Creepers is like. Fuck. Like, I swear if he talk, because he never talks in the movie. You do know that, right?
Yep.
And he goes.
Stop! I'm gonna fucking have nightmares because of you.
Oh, the only bad thing is that I don't know. So, side note, on my when I record on my phone, all I hear is the fan.
Like the video.
Yep.
It's because it's
That's
right-
all you hear. Yeah,
it's
it's just really next to it. That's all you hear. So I hardly hear what we're saying because when you talk, you're like,
I'm literally. What are you talking about?
you hardly hear yourself, and then you get
Right
muffled
here.
by the Toby. I mean, I could hear him because he goes, "Well," and like he screams at me.
So you want me to scream at you? I can't.
Well,
Scream.
I mean, for that, I would literally have to sync up the audio because you can't even tell that one. But
I'm
only because
literally
you hear
right
it,
next to
only
it.
because you hear the fan, and it's like
but I'm literally right next to it.
it's
So
because
is Toby.
it's because you sound like the fucking fan, bro. Like
How
when
the
you talk,
fuck do I sound like the
your
fan,
voice
bitch?
like meshes with the fucking thing.
Anyways, if you guys keep up with our podcast and our all of
Social
our
media.
socials, you might see some videos later of us
Maybe
doing some ghost hunting here and there.
just me and my Jeepers Creepers face. Like, oh yeah, papa. That's gonna be my forever show.
Yeah, we know.
My wawa. Anyway, that's basically sums up the whole them ghost kids. Don't you ever do that to me ever again. Don't you tell me when to wrap
No,
up.
no,
bitch.
no, I wasn't
Don't
doing that.
just
I
shut your
wasn't doing
ass
that.
up. Shut your
I
ass
like,
up.
yeah, the ghost kids. No, I was gonna say
She was
something
literally
else.
going.
No, I was like, yeah, like I was agreeing with you, you stupid cunt.
You did that to Toby last time, and then he was triggered too. He was like, "What the fuck are you doing? you're my fucking director, or are you controlling my life?" Okay. Anyway, that's it. So basically, to sum up this whole podcast episode, them ghost kids, it's either fake it or make it, and we're just gonna have to figure out. Actually, maybe we will when we come back from the birthday weekend. For me, we could just pass by it real quick. And see if we catch any ghosts. And then if we don't, we just go home. We just go home. We're going to upload it and be like, nothing happened. All these bitches be acting up on the TikTok. Anyway, thanks for listening. Remember to follow us on all of our social media on our website, likelynotdeadpodcast.com. If you would like to donate, we have a PayPal link in our website. You could donate 15 cents. And with those 15 cents, I will buy myself a mango.
In this economy, bitch, you ain't gonna buy some shit.
buy one grape. I'll share it among us three. We cut it in three.
Bitch, you'll get the fucking seed if anything.
I'll be like, lick it like. one grain of salt with 15 cents to baptize. Anyway, until we see you next time. Bye.